영적 조선인민군 장군 이른 달숫돌 만세!
Fantastic gold medal. Uganda had only won one before in any sport. Abel Kirui came home second, his Kenyan compatriot Wilson Kipsang Kiprotich in third.
김정일 동지께서
Well, certainly new media has been influential in helping some of the candidates raise money. And it is clear that new media, YouTube, and other kinds of delivery services have been important for young voters. I think it is easy to leap from that to the assertion that old media is dead, new media is the paradigm, and it has an extraordinary impact on the social and political world. The reason I say that is there's so much selection bias in new media, meaning people select on things that confirm or conform to their prior views. So how much are they being
thinking and reasoning for them? Well, that's happened today. That's why people today can't think outside of the programming from television.
Zbigniew Brzezinski, Obama's main foreign policy advisor, talks about how a cult of personality can be artificially manufactured to influence the masses.
In the first months of my administration, to pull our economy... Oh, goodness. Sorry about that, guys. To pull our economy back from the brink, including the largest and most sweeping economic recovery plan in our nation's history.
We're gullible, but we're also willingly gullible. We want a human being, a big daddy, to come along and make everything right for us. And as long as we believe that, we'll always basically get shafted.
In addition to John, sorry, I just noticed that I jumped the gun here. Go ahead and move it up. I'd already introduced all you guys.
It's the presidential reality show. But when it became an Oprah production, it became slick. You don't have a president, you have an actor. They say that politics is show business for ugly people. You got it.
What am I going to...
The internet is like a rainbow. It represents the full spectrum of information on the web. But when you take away part of the rainbow, it isn't as interesting or compelling. It isn't as colorful. And just like an incomplete rainbow, a filtered internet isn't showing us the remarkable potential of the web. If you request a banned domain name, the server will return an error message, and access is denied. For example, in Vietnam, ISPs, or Internet Service Providers, configure some domain names so they resolve to an invalid address or remove blocked websites from their DNS servers.
When the Chinese Prime Minister Li Keqiang visited Berlin in May 2013, he said to German executives there, "If we both come together in an ideal and optimal way, a dream team will emerge." There are tremendous opportunities, of course, for cooperation, but there is also the potential for conflict, for miscommunication, and for loss of trust. Our behavior is largely influenced by our culture. It affects the way we see the world, it affects the way we behave in particular circumstances, and it affects the way we perceive the behavior of other people around us. Take, for example, employee motivation. Most Germans will come from individualist cultures, and as such, they appreciate being referred to by name in the public recognition of effort. Most Chinese people, on the other hand, will come from a culture where the group is more important than the individual. And in these circumstances, it's better to focus on the group or the team rather than the individual. Referring to individuals specifically can cause embarrassment and can result in the opposite effect from that which you intend. This is a small example of how culture can affect our daily business interactions. I'm at the St. George Palace in Genoa, where Marco Polo was imprisoned in 1298 and where he dictated his famous book, The Travels, to a fellow inmate. He describes his fascination of traveling through China, a country with a culture so very different from the one that he was used to. Of course, since then, many things have changed, but a few things have stayed the same. We still struggle to understand cultures different from our own. There is much at stake, and because German and Chinese cultures are quite different in many important aspects, cross-cultural leadership is and will remain an important challenge for both Chinese and German executives.